Hey, 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 welcome to another Valley Forged. You want to make some money? Right now it's about Christmas time. And you're going to need something. Well, also, these are awesome gifts. Like, awesome gifts for people that like cats or dogs, or which is most people, let's be real. I have been making these like absolute crazy. I did a show uh, a couple of weeks ago, and it was like by far my best seller. And I only had, I think, the black and white ones, and then I did a couple of different colors, and I did orange and black for Halloween. It's almost Halloween, so put those out there. Pretty much sold every single thing I had, yeah, they always do well. And sometimes we make things so much more complicated than they need to be. Make all these other projects, all these big projects, and because it's fun. I totally, totally enjoy making everything and always coming up with new things. That's what my channel's about. I love lasers. And so, yeah, I get it. I get it. But if you were to think in a business sense of like if you could pick one thing where you can make the maximum amount of profit for the least amount of work, then I started thinking, okay, what would that be? If I was going to sell one, I watched some internet video and it said concentrate on one thing. And that got me thinking. I'm like, okay, I got to concentrate on one thing to sell or to get, whatever to make. What would it be? And yeah, it's definitely this yin yang kitties. If I only had one, type of thing, it would be the yin yang kitty coasters. But I make the earrings. I made these, and they go perfectly with it. I should have some pictures of the finished ones. All the ones that I have are either sold or they're in a store right now, so I don't have any finished ones to show you. But yeah, amazing. The one thing I would not concentrate on making, yeah, it's a little crackly, is these guys, which I adore. I mean, how cute are they? There's these little butts. They sell so well, and I just enjoy the way they look. I enjoy how people respond to them. So I'm going to continue to make them. But the amount of work that they take, I do charge a little bit more for them. I charge $10 for each one. I sell quite a bit. Whereas I could sell the kitties, I could sell for $5 and make way more profit. Takes way less time, and I can get infinite variety. So it's so simple. And what makes this work is the Colorboard solids, because I can buy, and I got every single one of these colors. So I did a video not that long ago, laser cutting hack using colored MDF instead of paint. Well, I had just started doing that. I had just kind of learned the hack, and it started making things happen for me. And so I couldn't really give you a full report until I had been using it for a little while. And yeah, complete 100,000,000% game changer for me, for making high profit yin yang kitties. Now you're going to sell primarily the black and white. So I get for every color I get a black and white. So if I get 10 colors, then I'm going to get 10 black and 10 white, because those are generally the ones that sell the most. Maybe you go 5, whatever. You'll figure it out as you go. It's not that expensive, and it's so easy. So let me go over this with you step by step. First thing you're going to do is I get the 3mm Colorboard solids from Craft Closet, and they come in just so many different colors. Ow, I can barely lift it up. This entire bag is nothing but kitty parts. Here, let me show you. Knocking everything around. Here's just one. I put them in, I go to the dollar store and get these, plastic baggies. And then I just put each color in the baggie. And then I put them all in a big baggie. And now I can just pick and choose and create whatever colors I want. I'll put pictures of some of those colors up right now. Because what I found is people just love all different colors. Well, I guess I should say a lot of different colors of cats. So what I did is I took and I looked up the most popular colors of cats. And of course, I made those colors. And then, of course, for Halloween, I made the orange and the black. And then for Christmas, I made the red and the green, right? And for Valentine's Day, maybe you make red and white or red and pink or something. Pink and white. See what I mean? It just, through everything, you've got these different colors that you can add. And so now I could literally, I'm not joking with you, I could make a living just selling this one item. One. I don't want to do that because I enjoy making all kinds of things. But if I was to expand that out a little bit, I could make the earrings, which are super profitable, by the way. The earrings, I mean, obviously, you're cutting, this is a Colorboard solid, right? And you're cutting out just this two of these tiny little things. And then the work really is just putting the hardware on it to make earrings, making the card, putting them in the box. But I sell these for $25 for a pair. My cost, gosh, got to be like less than $1 for everything that goes into it. I think the box is probably the most expensive part of all of it. So maybe $1.50, including the box. So super high profit, but then you got to put in the labor and everything, but it's still, once you're done and you get used to making them, extremely high profit. But what happens is, when I have the corgi butt earrings, the tiny little studs, again, $20 all day long. People absolutely love them. But the issue that you have, in fact, that's one of my sets here on Etsy, and I'll put the link below, is the corgi and kitty collection. You can see for the earrings, I do a slightly different design than I do for the yin yang kitties, and there's a reason for that. And I'll get into that here in a second. But you can see the earrings here, and then I have little corgi butt, the same face and butt for the corgis up there. I do those in earrings. I'll bring up a picture of that. Now, just this one set alone, I could completely make a living. I don't need to sell anything else. If I concentrated on the marketing, went to all the stores, because I can sell this at such a good markup that the stores can afford to take it. That's one of the difficult things to do. I have trouble, like for wood keychains and things like that. It's kind of hard to make those profitable because people aren't going to pay $20 for a keychain, right? But for earrings, girls all day long. Tell it. I'm sure there's some girls out there that understand. They pay $20, $25, way higher for earrings, but that's kind of a base price, right? And for shows, maybe I'll bring the price down a little bit, $20, $15 for the corgi butt studs because they're so small. But the trick really is that when I have these out in mass, and you can make a big version, right, to get people to see them and hang them up or something like that. When you make this draws the people to you. And when you have them in a store, it's the same thing. It will draw the people to your display. And then they'll be able to see the earrings, right? Because that's the trick, is that you can't see the earrings because they're so small. The little studs, when people see them, they buy them. But it's getting them to see them. That's the issue. So I created the display to be able to bring people over. The lamp here that you see, the corgi butt lamp, if you have a CO2 laser, you can't make this with a diode. But those are really, really great as well to draw people to you. It's a little light. It's a little lamp. So I try and think of this when I'm creating displays, when I'm creating marketing. whether it's in a store or whether you're at a show or whatever you're at, you want people to be drawn to, if they're into dogs and cats and they see your booth, they're going to be there. That and the same thing goes for like if you have an audience of gamers, right? I make the little D20 coasters, right? If somebody sees that and they're a gamer, they're literally right to you. So this is just an aspect of marketing. And then of course I have the corgi butt keychains and whatnot. And I do the same thing with the kitties. I make same thing, but just like the earrings, but I make into keychains because they sell a lot really quick too. Charge $5 for those. But back to what we were talking about. These files, or that's the best file that has everything in it that you need for these. But if you just took my coaster pack, you could see the cats are there. You may have to redo them slightly to make them into this particular coaster. And I'm going to go over how to do it. It is so simple. It's so simple. You're going to just take a Colorboard solid. Oh, let me tell you, if you have a 10-watt laser, you can still do this. The Colorboard solids, if you look, they sell them in basswood and they also sell them in MDF. So a lot of people have been questioning, what exactly ones I use and things like that. I use the 1/8 inch MDF. It's more solid. If you've got a 20 watt, 30 watt, 40 watt laser, it's going to be super quick. This is going to cut really easy. Now, if you're having trouble with it with your 5 or 10 watt laser, they do make it in basswood, which will be easier to get through. It just warps a lot easier. Now I'm putting them on these. And so I used to buy these in packs of 20 for $10, which was 50 cents a piece. So that was really kind of what made me hesitant in making the video at first, because I wanted to make sure that I could get that cost down, because it ends up being the highest cost of everything, ends up being the little cork that goes on the bottom. But if you buy it in 100 or 200, you can get it as low as 21 cents a piece. I literally just ordered this 100 count one, so 30 cents. So 30 cents, and then for each Colorboard solid, I'm cutting out 8. I have that in my light burn right here. I just rearrange them, and they're like, my coasters are 3.8 millimeters. 3.8 inches. And so not 4 inches, because these particular ones, and I'll put a link in the description for these. I'll put something below for everything that I mentioned. They're not quite 4 inches, and that is a good thing. Now, say you've got 12-inch wide wood, and you want to get 3 up across, right? Well, in this case, I made it to where that works because I got 19 inches in the length. But say you had a 12 by 12 board. To be able to get the most out of those, you're going to want it to be smaller than 4 inches. So these particular corks are perfect because the 3.8, even though these are a little bigger than that, they're rounded at the edge. So the 3.8 fits perfectly on them. And so you just, you take, this is why it's so simple. You just take the 2 pieces, actually it's 3 pieces. When you cut these out on Colorboard solids, you just cut it like this, the whole thing. And this is how they will come out. Now, this piece and this piece, so the tail and half of the cat, will fall out because of the cut lines. So you can see everything in red is cut out and everything in black is just a score line, or, like the whiskers are engraved, right? So it will look just like this. It should look like this in your preview. So when this is cut out, you're going to end up with 3 pieces, one around that goes all the way around. In fact, I'm going to bring some out. And so all you got to do is take the one that has the full in it, and then take the cat and the tail and glue it and just glue it on top of the cork. That's all you got to do. It is like ridiculously easy. You don't need to vise these or anything like that. Just use the good old Titebond 2. And I just use a foam brush, and I do a whole bunch at once. And then I pick whatever colors that I want to do. And I just mix match whatever I feel like. And I just glue it on top of the cork, set it aside, let it dry. Then, now this is the real thing that sets you apart, is what I use. I use lacquer. Now make sure you have a good ventilated area for that. Lacquer could be kind of nasty. But one coat, because it's already finished. All right, so I just take a rag and some Windex, actually, and I just wipe it off. I let it dry, and then I shoot it with one shot of lacquer. Now, you could use whatever kind of spray finish you want to, just to make it easier, but that's it. And it looks great. Now, usually, if you watch my other things and people are asking me, how do you get such a nice finish on your wood? First of all, I'm using awesome wood. You know, I'm using the MDF core generally from Craft Closet, finished or unfinished. Even if I buy the finished, once I clean it off and I do one layer of lacquer when I'm finished. When it's not finished, I use at least 3 coats, 2 coats, and then I'll take it like a paper bag. I learned this from somebody, brown paper bag, and you kind of sand it with the brown paper bag just lightly, and then clean it off. And then put on your last coat. That's the trick. And it looks really, really good. But make sure you get a couple coats on first. But I digress. For this particular one, you're just going to use one coat after you clean it off. You let it dry. Put on your one coat. I do them all in big mass times. And yes, you have to include your labor for this. But the fact is, I'm watching videos while I'm gluing these together. It takes really no time. It's something that I'd be doing anyway, you know, watching a movie or obviously watching videos about, you know, let's say it's Sunday. I'm watching Clack Shack and Ventari do their live show, right?
I don't know if it's just a breed of mosquitoes, or they just don't like me, or I'm too sour, or what. But they don't bother us too much right here around the house.
Yeah, lucky you. If I was out on the porch here, I'd be getting eaten alive.
Yeah, well, I think it's where I'm at. It's real sandy, so there's not like they don't like hanging out right here where my house is.
And I'll be just sitting here gluing kitties together. That's the kind of thing. Watch your live show and just kind of do your thing. So it really cuts down on what I would consider labor costs, because I don't, you know, we're into lasers. Why should this feel like work? It's so much fun. The hard part, in my opinion, is figuring out what to make that could be profitable, and then how to sell it. But honestly, if you just pick the right stores, these sell themselves.
Yeah, I like money though.
I can't stress enough how awesome these are. You know, I'll show you the display I made, and that definitely has helped. It really looks good, and it draws attention. It cost me a bit to make it, but you can use any display. Just get them to where people can see them, and they will buy them. There's so many cat people or people that just know people with cats, and almost everybody you come across is going to have a big smile on their face. They're going to be happy. They're going to be so thankful that they get to give you money for this. And that's all over wonderful. So how profitable are they? Well, if you say you're going to get 8 per sheet, right? And so each sheet, if you buy it in the MDF like I do, is $6, right? And I get, well, how many did we see? I want to make sure I get this right for you all. 4, 8, 12. So I'm getting 12. So 50 cents a piece. And what I always try to do with Craft Closet is buy $100. I personally do this. Here, let's go to my account. I'm going to, you see, here's my orders from Craft Closet. This is real money that I spent at Craft Closet. And you can see I always buy over $100 just because I get free shipping. That's it, you know? And, you know, I think I have a discount link or whatever. And, so you're going to get these even after tax probably for $6 a piece. And so you're going to be spending 50 cents a piece on each cat. And then you are going to be spending, say, 30 cents each on the cork and the glue and the whatnot. So let's just call it $1. And then you can put in any sort of labor charge you want for that. I just don't work that way. I take everything kind of easy. If I'm selling these for $5, I know I'm making a big profit, so I'm not worried about it. If you sell them to a store, they should be selling these for $8 a piece. So if you're selling them for $3 or $4 to the store, it should work out great. If they're going to order 1,000 of them, sure, you could probably get this down to $2.50, whatever. But start out, I'd say $3-4 for them. If they're going to order like 50 or something, I don't know, make it right for you. However it works out well for you. I tend to like consignment stores because then I get to make more money generally. Or shows, you know, you put these out at $5 a piece, you're going to make a lot. They don't take a ton of storage. That's another thing I wanted to mention. I love my Lord's Prayer crosses and the Celtic crosses. They're fantastic. But once you get 30 or 40 of those together, they take up a lot of space. And I have 30 or 40 in stock because I sell a lot at different shows and different things. So I have to have enough to sell. And that could be difficult. And keeping them from getting messed up and making sure they don't get out into the sun too hot and warped and whatever. It's a lot to it. And you got to have the bubble wrap and everything for when you sell it to tape it all up. It's a lot of extra hassle. I still love selling them, but the ease at making these and selling them and storing them and, you know, less likely to be damaged. You know, with these corgi faces, I actually bought these little 5x7 plastic things to put them in because if one gets scratched, I'm like a little bit out of shape because they take so much work. But with the kitties, come on, so easy. And now, you know, for a reasonably cheap amount of money, I have this unlimited supply of different colors and fun things to work with for different holidays and different things I want to do. So my opinion, that's it's kind of the GOAT for right now of what I'm making and what's most profitable, what's most fun, what's easiest to store, and just overall ease of doing. So I would really suggest you try them. You don't need to make a huge investment to be able to do it. Black and white, absolutely the best. And I guess now I can get into more detailed things of no, I don't use any sort of kerf offset or anything like that. That would kill your profitability. Having to, change anything would kill your profitability. Now, if you have a 70 watt, like an Adam Stack 70 watt, this may be tough. You want to kick it down to the 35 or something, because you got to watch out how big the kerf is on your machine. Some CO2 lasers as well. The kerf, if there's too big of a gap there, they're probably going to look bad. They're not going to do super well as coasters. If every single part you can see through down to the cork, if it's a little gap, don't worry about it. You're spraying these for protection. Cork is good for protection, all that. But if you are, if you got a huge kerf on your machine, which is the gap that is left by the laser to make make it too loose, not like a puzzle, then it may not be the right laser for this. That would be better for cutting thick things, maybe, doing like trophies and whatnot. But I have the Rolly Lasermatic, the XW, link below, of course. Absolutely fantastic machine. I can get one of these 12 by 19s. You know, it fits so easily in the XW. You just throw it down, done. I can do over and over. So I'm watching videos, doing whatever. I just come over here and hit start. I take the next sheet. I just stick it in there. I come back. I hit start. And, you know, when they're finished, I put them in a little plastic bag. I throw them in a bigger bag. And then when I feel like, you know, watching the live stream or something, I get everything set up and ready. And then I just glue them together. I throw them over in a pile until they're finished, let them dry. Then I clean them off, spray them with the lacquer, and let that dry, and done. They're done. I just put them into the bag. Now they're ready to sell, store them for the next show, the store, whatever. So, to make a short story long, amazing product. I'm super thrilled. And I hope that it really helps you and somebody out there, you know, sells a gajillion of these, because I don't care if you sell the physical products. I mean, I appreciate nobody stealing my files. I did work hard making these just perfect and so easy. But as far as selling the physical product, even if you want to sell them on Etsy as a physical product and make somebody should do it. It's just a matter of getting them marketed right. What I find, and the difficult part about selling them on Etsy, is that you would think people would buy a 4-pack of coasters, right? And that would be the smartest way, dealing with shipping and everything like that, I would think. But not only do people like to buy 1 or 2 a lot of times, they also like to mix and match colors. So, you know, I'm trying not to add any more complexity or work to my life. And so that's why I've kind of went to stores and stuff, because they could just tell me what they want. You know, it's written down. Okay, we sold this. We'll have some more of that. This is selling well. We'll do more of that. You know, whereas like shipping and dealing with all that, is just not something I've been wanting to do. But maybe this will work for somebody. So give me feedback. Keep me in the loop. If anybody's selling these physically, write it down in the description so that other people can learn too. I want to see real world. How is this working for you? It's working super, super well for me. But is it working super well for anybody else? I imagine so. They're kitties. Everybody loves kitties. So, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Love you all.